I say to people who want to work for this organization that we have to be at least as brave as the children for whom we work. The children we work with are absolutely destitute girls and boys between the ages of 6 and about 14. For most of these street children, it's a real struggle to find a meal they can put in their stomachs, to find a safe place where they can sleep, to be protected from abuse by adults, particularly by the police. We have to recognize the fact that in the end, all the kids have is each other. Our focus as an organization is promoting independence and self-respect. As poor as these children are, there is the potential to build on their ingenuity, their courage, their determination to survive. There are as many as 100 million of these kids around the world today. So there's no way we could possibly take all these kids and put them in shelters, even if we thought that was a good idea. Instead, what we've decided to do is be a catalyst, to be a kind of workshop of ideas, to help the local partners to take these ideas and build them into their programming. For example, in the Dominican Republic, we came to our partner, the YMCA, with the idea of setting up a bank for street children. We're coming with an idea which I think was much more powerful than any amount of money. The idea that what these children lacked was access to capital and a place to keep their savings. We set up bicycle courier projects in cities like Khartoum and Bangalore, India. We take very, very clever street thieves and we train them to be bicycle messengers, recognizing that the children know the streets better than anybody else. These small business projects represent half of the organization's work. The other half of the work is in our communications projects, specifically our Karate Kids films. To focus so much resources and professional time on a cartoon, which was not meant for rich kids, but was meant for the poorest children in the world, was very novel. Most of these kids have never even seen a cartoon before. The impetus behind Karate Kids was the realization that these kids were sexually active and they were very vulnerable to AIDS. These children, by the fact that they cannot read and write, were basically being kept from the information which they could use to save their lives. It was obvious that we had to find a way to communicate some information about AIDS to these children in a way that was informative and wasn't too authoritarian. Now, this is a cartoon for the front lines, and this is a cartoon that's going to bother some people, but that's fine. The other thing that was innovative with the project was the whole idea of involving local project partners. We went with a test cartoon. We showed it to the intended audience, and we asked them, what makes sense? What have you learned about AIDS? We provided street workers with a very powerful tool they can use to provoke a discussion about AIDS, about sexuality, about abuse of children, about violence against children. Derek Lam and Kai Pinla created a cartoon for some of the world's poorest children. It's not a cartoon which tells the kids that they're dirty, that they have no rights. It's completely neutral, and it's meant to reflect their reality. What Kai and Derek did was draw from the children we saw on the streets. And those girls and boys, those real people, evolved into the characters in our cartoon. It meant that the characters were characters who the children felt empathy towards, that the characters did things like they do, and that the language was the language that they would use. The cartoon is meant to be set almost anywhere, any country. We showed the cartoon in the Philippines. One of the children said he recognized the market was his uncle's market. We had that kind of reaction in city after city. The numbers alone, the project has had a huge impact. The cartoon is in over 20 languages. It's been seen in over 100 countries by as many as 4 million children. What's interesting as well in terms of impact is it's caused local projects to look at doing things in a new way. These children deserve the very best from organizations. People who are not satisfied with the old ways of doing things. I would hope that StreetKids International is an organization which helps every person who becomes associated with it to become fulfilled as a human being. fact we have young people being attracted to the organization, getting involved at the decision level is very important. It should be a place where people come with their own ideas, where they feel they can develop their ideas and make them real.